Welcome to today's show. I'm your host, Mike Slinkard. You know, spring is right around the corner, and to many of us, that signals the start of the traditional turkey season. Whether you call them gobblers, swamp roosters, thunder chickens, longbeards, or something we can't repeat on TV, we can all agree there's nothing sweeter than when it all comes together and one of those beautiful birds comes strutting right into your setup. For those of you who have been watching the show for very long, you know that the HECS effect is an absolute game changer for turkey hunters, and today's episode is going to showcase that once again with some of the best close-up turkey encounters we've ever had. We'll start in the mountains of Idaho and head to my home state of Oregon. Then we'll head to Northern California and tag along with Dr. Howard Meyer, who won our latest HECS close-up video submission contest and our free hunt. We have a lot to pack into this episode. It's action-packed and intense, so sit back, relax, and join us as we go hunting with HECS.
Hunting is about getting close. Really close. Get closer than you ever thought was possible.
When you have a cameraman and you setting out in a dirt field like this, you can get away with so much with this HECS on.
I've got to give credit once again to HECS.
We showcase the science of getting close right here on Hunting with HECS. Hunting with HECS is brought to you by PSE Archery, Tough Country, American Values Forged in Steel, Ozonics, Undetectable, Undeniable, Victory Archery, the Carbon Arrow Experts, BumpersDirect.com, Rocky Mountain Hunting Calls, we call the game, Spot Hog, the world's toughest archery products, Warn Wenches, UC Hunting Properties, and HECS Stealth Screen, the evolution of concealment.
On this first hunt, we're with Rex Summerfield in Idaho. Rex is our producer here on Hunting with HECS, and he's sorted through literally hundreds of hours of video featuring close-up interactions between hunters wearing HECS technology and countless different species. Here, Rex is set up on the edge of an old logging job, calling to an old bird on a muddy track in front of him. Well, it's late season here in Idaho, and this bird is known to many of the locals that live in the area. Rex said that he's had a lot of pressure through the season, but has managed to pick out other hunters on every setup. Knowing firsthand the power of HECS technology, Rex decided to set up in plain sight, only about 12 steps from the decoys, and prove once and for all that HECS works on hard-hunted public land birds. Like I said, this bird has been through Hunter 101 this season, and as is his norm, he hangs out just out of range to look the entire area over before committing to the decoys. This is the time he usually picks out most hunters and disappears off in the brush. The difference is that Rex is wearing HECS technology to block his natural electrical emissions, which we know are visible to birds like turkeys. Once this old Tom is satisfied that it's safe, he strolls right on in. Remember, this is that old bird that's been giving everybody the slip for weeks, but here Rex is setting in plain view only 12 steps away. Just to show the HECS effect even more, Rex raises his shotgun when the Tom is looking right at him. This old bird turns in his head like he sees the movement, but with no electrical signal associated with the motion, he simply ignores it like he would a weed blowing in the wind. Rex decides to push it even further and waves his hand out away from his body to make sure it's clearly visible to this big Tom. Once again, the bird totally ignores it. There's nothing left to do now but drop the hammer. Well, I asked Rex why it took him 2 shots to kill a bird at only 12 yards, and he said that if he was going to shoot him in his lap, he probably needed to open up his choke a little bit.
The HECS did its job. Turkey didn't have any idea it was there, and even after he got in, I messed with him, waving my hand around. I brought the gun up when he was looking at me. He could have cared less, had no idea that I was any place in the world, and as a result, I get to take this nice old bird home with me.
The newest addition is our base layer. The base layer is a lightweight, semi-thermal material designed to be worn under your regular hunting clothing when you need just a little bit of extra insulation. It features the patented HECS technology woven right into the material. The suit comes in 3 pieces: pants, shirt, and head cover. The shirt is a quarter-zip Henley with serge stitching, embroidered HECS logo, and thumb holes. The form-fitting pants have serge stitching throughout, and an elastic waistband and cuff ensure they stay in place. They also feature a convenient fly. The head cover has a hemmed eye hole, adjustable drawstring in the back, and is very easy to use. Additional accessories are sold separately and include the HECS hat, gloves, and our new heavyweight over-the-calf sock. Brand new for this year is the new multi-rag. This versatile face mask can be worn in a variety of ways. Order the HECS base layer right now and use the promo code PURSUIT to save an instant $30 on your order of a complete HECS suit. Learn more about our complete line of clothing and accessories, as well as our fit guarantee for worry-free ordering at HECSLLC.com. The turkey action continues right after this quick break. Welcome back to Hunting with HECS. This week, we're showcasing some incredible turkey tactics by HECS users all over the country. Some of the things HECS users get away with would be unbelievable if you didn't see it for yourself.
Now I'm headed to my home state of Oregon with my good friend, Andy Day. Andy and I were walking into our setup when we heard a bird gobble right in front of us. All we could do was kneel down right where we were, and with no cover at all, almost immediately, a big tom came out, headed our way. Again, we're in the wide open and we're carrying all our gear. I have my chair slung over my shoulder and I have to get out of that before I have any chance to draw my bow. You can see I'm moving all around in plain sight, getting ready for the shot, yet this bird totally ignores it. Once again, with our HECS suits blocking our electrical signal, the bird simply doesn't see all that movement as living movement, and it totally ignores it, just as it would a bush moving in the wind. That is the game-changing part that we always talk about here again on Full Display. That's the head part. When he gets inside archery range, I draw my bow, and once again, as usual, there's no reaction to my movement. Well, it was a perfect scenario, but I just didn't make the shot. You know, that's that double-edged sword of bow hunting. While it can be frustrating at times, it's one of the reasons that I love this type of hunting so much. Later that afternoon, my favorite camera gal Caitlin and I heard some gobbling on a small hilltop and slipped in quickly to set up the decoys. It wasn't long before these 2 jakes appeared. As you can see, I'm really close to the decoys here, but neither bird notices me at all. After my miss earlier in the day and with my season winding down, I decided I'd better take one of these birds. Once again, I've demonstrated the power of HECS technology. You know, it used to be super hard to hunt turkeys, and I was always frustrated over and over when the birds used to pick me out while I was trying to draw my bow. Yet, as you can plainly see, now I'm regularly drawing in full view of the birds, even when they're facing in my direction. I can honestly say that since I've been using HECS technology, I've never been busted while trying to draw on a turkey, and that is one huge advantage. turkeys with a bow and arrow are tough. They really are. And you know, a lot of guys would be happy to shoot this with a shotgun. I'm way happy with a bow. It's real late in the season here, so we're not being super picky. But I tell you what, the old Captain Hook, you know, we got them gobbling. And actually, there's some more behind us I just heard a while ago. But anyway, we got it done here in the wide open. It don't get no more open than that. I had a little back cover. And guys, I want to spend just a little time talking about setup. You know, you see us do this all the time. A lot of times we're right out in the open, and just like we were there, it's important to have back cover. And that's the one thing that I'll tell you. Having back cover is really important, particularly when they get inside of, you know, 10 steps or 13 steps, I guess is what this one was. But having that back cover, it just helps them so they don't pick out your silhouette as easy. But with HECS, getting a full draw is not a problem, guys. You know, it makes killing these things with a bow and arrow actually possible, and it makes it fun.
I'm a huge believer in HECS, and the reason is simply my success in the field. Time and time again, I have things that I just can't explain, and no matter which hunting camp I'm in, I feel like I'm having more opportunities than the people around me that aren't utilizing HECS. The reality is, some animals definitely can sense things that we just don't know about. And with the encounters that I've had, I can tell you that HECS has been my clear advantage. This past year, I got within top pin range on a giant open country bull and just sat there for longer than I was even comfortable for. And when he finally pulled away from that tree and started to come to where he had heard my call last, he literally almost walked right over me. Had no idea what I was, even when that arrow hit, and I'm giving that credit to HECS. During the late season here in Iowa, there's nothing worse than being covered up with whitetails in a ground blind and having them look right in at you. I don't experience that anymore. I'm telling you, the proof is in the pudding for me. If you're interested in getting the best deal possible, make sure you use the promo code at the bottom of the screen. Or if you want to find out more, go to hexllc.com or give us a call at 541-575-HECS.
And the turkeys just keep coming. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Hunting with HECS. This week, we're strutting our stuff with incredible close encounters of the feathery kind. Now, let's get back to the hunt.
Well, I'm still in my home state of Oregon, and I'm in one of my favorite spots. There always seems to be turkeys in the area, so I usually set up a blind just to keep our camera gear dry when the weather turns nasty. As usual, I choose to sit outside the blind so I can keep my full field of view and better direct my calling. Well, it's just breaking daylight and the birds are gobbling from a nearby roost tree. I'm about 12 steps from the decoys here, and after giving them a couple soft hand calls, I heard some birds hit the ground and they were headed my direction. It turns out to be a couple really nice toms. When I could see that they weren't going to fully commit and come all the way to the decoys, I decided to take them. Those birds came in and almost committed all the way to the decoy. I went ahead and pulled back. This one was still partially strutted when the arrow hit him, and he didn't go anyplace. So, man, great morning here in Oregon, hunting wild turkeys with HECS.
It's time once again for this week's HECS Close-Up.
This week's HECS Close-Up is brought to us by Daniel Fry from Virginia. Daniel was out deer hunting with his blaze orange vest when he ran into a flock of turkeys. Daniel sent in over 20 minutes of footage with these birds right in front of him. He was decked out in HECS, and all the turkeys totally ignored his presence, orange vest and all. Thanks again to Daniel Fry for submitting this week's HECS Close-Up.
The HECS advantage.
If you've been watching Hunting with HECS for very long, You probably realize that HECS patented technology that we feature here on the show has become something of a must-have item for tens of thousands of hunters around the world. What you may not have realized is that HECS technology is also becoming an integral tool for wildlife biologists, researchers, photographers, and really anyone who wants to experience wildlife in its natural and undisturbed state. If you watched this year's Shark Week episodes on Discovery Channel, you saw HECS stealth screen logos on some of the world's foremost shark experts. HECS technology is also front and center in the hit show Extinctor Alive on Animal Planet, starring biologist Forrest Galante. Forrest and his team search for and sometimes find animals that were thought to be extinct, and they use HECS to help them in their quest. HECS is even being used by the U.S. military and police special units to help them stay less detectable by animals that can signal danger when they're in covert situations. Quite literally, HECS is popping up everywhere people interact with animals. The bottom line is all living beings, including humans, produce naturally occurring extreme low frequency electrical fields through heart rate and muscle movement. HECS products effectively block those fields, making the person appear more like an inanimate object. HECS is real technology. It's backed up by 5 issued patents, and it's fully proven to work. So no matter what you like to do outdoors, there's a HECS product for you. For more information on the other areas HECS technology is changing the way people look at concealment, check out HECSLLC.com and click on the links to the other HECS entities. Now, let's get back to more hunting action.
Stick around. You'll have to see it to believe it right after this. Welcome back to Hunting with HECS.
Now we're headed to Northern California to join up with former Oregon State animal science professor, Dr. Howard Meyer. Dr. Meyer won the hunt giveaway for submitting a great HECS close-up of some elk that came in under his tree stand. We decided to take Dr. Meyer on a hunt with Perry Crimmins and Just for Hunting Outfitters. We were hunting near Redding, California, where they have some great spring turkey action as well as a large population of wild hogs. Of course, I'm along as well, and I never miss an opportunity to hit the woods whenever I can. Okay, so these are all wet sows, every one of them, so obviously we're not going to shoot them all on babies. The plan was to turkey hunt in the morning and hog hunt in the afternoon. On this hunt, we had a weather front move through, and the rainy, wet weather shut those turkeys down. Fortunately, that's perfect weather for spot and stalk hog hunting. We spotted a large group coming out of thick cover, and we quickly moved to intercept them. There's a mix of boars, sows, and piglets in this group, so trying to pick out a boar among this constantly moving group was proving to be quite a challenge. As you can plainly see, we're clearly standing in the open here, and even though they can see us plainly, they don't seem to know what we are and just go about their business. Well, we finally spotted a boar standing in the clear, and I got ready to take a quick shot. Well, unfortunately, I'd ranged a closer pig a minute earlier, and when I finally had one in the clear, I didn't realize it had moved out that far. As a consequence, my shot went way low. The next morning dawned crystal clear, and the turkeys were really going at it. Howard is set up on a bird gobbling on a nearby ridge, and it wasn't long before the tom showed up on a little hill overlooking the setup. After carefully checking everything out, this bird beelines it for the decoys, and he passed right in front of Howard. This time, Howard puts the power of HECS to work. This big bird strutted right past Howard, sitting only a few steps away, and totally ignores the movement when he draws his bow. As a result, Dr. Meyer gets to notch his tag on a beautiful California gobbler.
We're turkey hunting this morning and had a great morning out here. Sitting out in the open, really pushing the HECS, no blind. I've shot a lot of turkeys, but they've always been out of a blind before, and today we just sit right out in the open, called this bird in, 17 yards. Had no idea I was there. Came to full draw, took the shot, and you can see the result right here.
The original HECS suit is very lightweight, breathable, and versatile enough to be used in almost any hunting situation. It comes complete with pants, shirt, and head cover, and is available in either Mossy Oak Country or Realtree Extra Camo. The material features a highly electrically conductive carbon grid woven into the polyester base cloth. This grid blocks your body's electrical field. Most people wear HECS as an underlayer, but as long as the HECS material is between you and the animal, it's just as effective. The pants are cut similar to sweatpants, with an elastic waistband, adjustable drawstring, elastic cuffs on the bottom, side pockets, and a convenient fly. The pullover shirt features thumb holes, serge stitching, and an embroidered logo. The head cover has a hemmed eye hole, adjustable drawstring in the back, and is very easy to use. Additional accessories are sold separately and include the HECS hat, made entirely of HECS material and is very lightweight and comfortable. The gloves are made of a lightweight, stretchy material in Mossy Oak Camo with the HECS technology woven in. The socks are a heavyweight over-the-calf sock and have the conductive HECS grid woven into the material. Brand new for this year is the new multi-rag. This versatile face mask can be worn in a variety of ways. Order right now and use the promo code PURSUIT to save an instant $30 on your order of a complete HECS suit. Learn more about our complete line of clothing and accessories, as well as our fit guarantee for worry-free ordering at HECSLLC.com.
Well, once again, we've blown the lid off traditional turkey hunting tactics and have again shown just what's possible with the HECS technology. You know, we hear skeptics all the time say things like, it won't work on hard-hunted public land birds. Yeah, we just showed you that it does. We're told that you can't draw your bow inside of a tom, especially at ridiculously close distances. Yeah, we do it over and over. You know, these are all wild, hard-hunted birds in actual hunting scenarios. The benefits of HECS technology are amazing, and it allows you to regularly get closer to turkeys and other wildlife than you ever have been able to before. You know, hunting season's almost here, but you still have time to get the HECS advantage for this season. Just give us a call or go online right now and get your own HECS suit on the way. As I always say, it's going to change the way you hunt. We'll see you next week with another great adventure right here on Hunting with HECS.
If you have an amazing HECS encounter you'd like to share, give us a call or contact us online. If we use it on the air, you'll be in the running to win an exciting hunting trip with the HECS crew. You can find out more on our website at hexhunting.com. While you're online, make sure to take a minute and check us out on our social media sites as well.